Coming from a galaxy near you, this is Brothers in Booze. And here are your hosts, Greg Washington and Doug Ziegler.
And Casey Palmer.
And this dude.
Yes, we got to get a new opening now again, don't we?
Welcome my gosh.
Back, Casey, how you doing?
Thank you. I am tired and exhausted, but I'm ready to be here with y'all because I love being here. So what?
Are you more tired than this fella, though?
I mean, his tires ain't doing what it's supposed to be doing, but shoot.
Those are soccer fans, though. That would have been better last week with Jeff Vogel, but or 2 weeks, something.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it all messes. Anyway, fellas, Casey,
hey.
we went late because we had our friend Roo had to back out at the last moment. Doug, you want to say something about that real quick?
Yeah, so essentially what happened was because of what she does, which we all know what she does, her network has a Google alert set for her. And the thing is they have to approve any appearances she had. And we didn't know that. So we scheduled it, and we're going to work to reschedule her after going through proper channels. But yeah, it was just
we tripped the alarm.
Because we promoted it.
Yeah, okay. I was going to blame Casey, but I can't actually.
Go ahead.
For once, we blame him every week.
Well, we're Americans, so we got to blame everything that we can on anybody else, of course. So.
Right.
It's really not.
Bring it on. I'll take it. I'm good.
I would love to blame, real quick, before we even get to beers, I would love to blame Casey for this one.
Shame on all of you! Shame on you killing babies! You're murderers! You're murderers! You're murderers! You're murderers!
Doug, you're a murderer.
Yo.
I kind of did the whole time. I kind of like that was an endearing quality of you.
I don't know how SCOTUS thought that was a good idea in 2022. Like, yeah, let's just take things back like several decades, because why not? That's smart.
Yeah, we get people like this.
Oh, I miss you, Greg.
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on all of you!
Wow. And need I remind you, that woman was elected to office.
Right.
Wow.
When I was elected to drink this today. 10 stack.
Ooh.
10-point check bills, pale lager. Casey, we call this around here beer that tastes like beer. Cheers, y'all.
Well done.
Yeah. Casey, you've been a while. Let's get you in. And what are you drinking? Bring us in on
What am I drinking?
Having.
Yeah, we called them in late. So what? Yeah, what's going on?
Don't worry, because I was called in late. I had to basically look at my fridge and be like, "What do we have here?" And we did have a pizza party with some neighborhood kids and families right before this, so people brought some stuff over. So I was like, "Okay, we have some stuff to work with." So the first one is a Bang Bang dry hop sour, from Left Field Brewery. Sorry for the lights. I'm trying to get this figured out with my light source here. But anyway, it's dry hop sour, 5.5. You know, it's kind of like my go-to. So like the brewery that's about it's like a 5-minute drive from me, and easy drink. And they always have ballpark pairings on it. So this one is best paired with freeze-dried ice cream dots or triple creme brie.
Wait, you have triple creme brie at baseball parks in Canada?
No, but I mean, you can bring in whatever food you want. So,
they don't allow that here. They don't allow you to bring your own food here.
You can. It's just, I mean,
people
look at you like you're a weirdo. Like, did you bring a full picnic basket to this game? Like, there's concessions here at the game. Like, what are you doing? But yeah. Hello. Yes. Oh my gosh, there's so many stories. It's been so long. Life has been so good. Let's not focus on me, but it's been crazy. That's all I'm saying.
So, what's up? What's up, Victor? What's up, Brock? Yeah. So Casey's pretty much on brand. Doug, what's going on with you?
So I'm going to start tonight with. I get a lot of stuff from them. Hey, that looks really good, Casey. By the way,
It doesn't look
It
like
is
a
really
sour though. It doesn't look like a sour though.
I'm kind of in a middle zone. I don't want to go like pure sour. I want to be like in a space where it's like not so sour as killing my taste buds, but also I can get a little bit of that tartness. So,
Yep. So, wow, that's Brock, by the way. But yeah, I didn't know that. That's interesting. So what I'm grabbing is something from Duke Hall called Sweet Baby Swirl, which is a chocolate peanut butter white stout. Now, white stouts, that had a little run there, remember? And there's white stouts all over the place. I haven't seen one in a while, so I just thought I'd pick it up to see what it was like.
what? But how do you make a stout white?
Y'all don't even want to know what I'm gonna.
Greg's just like we don't. I'm not even going into this. I don't want to talk about it. This is
I'll take that
triggering to
shit
me.
Backstage.
Oh, Greg.
Yeah, there's that is. So yeah, not dark, obviously.
So interesting. Okay. So same multi flavor but different color beer.
Yeah, and that Sweet Baby You're right, Daniel. Sweet Baby Jesus, Sweet Baby Java. They have a couple other them, but this is their white stout version. So it's only 6.2, which for their Sweet Baby Jesus line is really low. Their Sweet Baby Jesus line usually double digits, but this got all the peanut butter. Yeah, that's exactly right, Victor. Thank you for saying that.
Oh gosh, I missed this show.
So, yeah, that's proved by Karen. Man, our guys are on point already, aren't they today?
They start early and often. What's going on, Doc?
So, and because of the lighter malts, you don't get quite as much roastiness as you would get out of a stout. But it's definitely got all the peanut butter flavors that you want. The chocolate, not so much. This makes me wonder. So it's with vanilla, lactose, coffee. I don't get coffee out of that at all. But anyway, it's not bad. Not great, not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not a ringing endorsement by any means ever. Well, it's not bad.
It's all right.
And just so you know where you rank in all this, Casey, we had to.
You know what? That's fair. And I don't know if Chris knows this, but I did get to have a quick chat with Mr. Reynolds a short bit ago. Just as pleasant and polite in person as you would think. I wish I had more time to talk to him about Deadpool, but I was not allowed to from the powers that be at Netflix. But, good dude. Fun times. Would have a drink with him.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
As the kids say.
If Blake Lively wants to hang with the kids too, like we could all have a good time and bring the families together. I'm down for it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
we were 6 feet apart. It was like I was like trying to keep my cool the entire time of like, wow, I'm like he's right here and this is happening. This is so weird in my life, but
cool. And can you explain the sauce behind that? How did that happen? Who made that happen? Obviously, you being you made that happen part of the way, but what else?
No, literally
finagled or figured in there.
Yeah, literally had the literally I was in they were in town promoting, or they're doing a cross-continent promotion of his new movie at the time, The Adam Project, and they were in Toronto. They're like, hey, like we want to get a few parent creators together to chat with Ryan about the movie, and I was one of 6 people they chose, which was really interesting to me because if we look at like numbers, like I have like 5,000 followers on Instagram, which is for me is like, yeah, whatever. The range went from me at the low end of 5,000 to the top end of like 1.2 million, and I was like, you sure you got the right guy? Like, you sure you? All right. But I wasn't gonna say no. They want me to hang out with people who put way more time and energy into their like profiles than I do. Then so be it. But it was good. It was just, and then I got to have some time with them after to just kind of catch up and figure out who's doing what. But that's the story. That's it. Netflix reached out. They're like, come talk to Ryan Reynolds. I was like, yes. and then we did it, and it was good.
And it was at low. It was good.
And it was good.
No, it was good.
and then you proceeded to crash Netflix. Okay, we got it. Or, they crashed.
I mean, I'm not blaming the stock prices on me. I'm just saying.
I kind of am, but it's fine. Man,
Thank you.
Right.
Assuming that's Brock.
Yeah, that's.
I assume yes. Yeah, so that was fun and fantastic, and we played that here.
Oh, you guys are awesome.
Yeah, we did.
It was months ago, but yes, thank you.
Yeah, it was.
Appreciate
And yeah, we're jealous, and it's cool. But that was a fatherhood movie, though, right? So that was the tie-in.
Fatherhood time travel.
So, real quick though, I don't have that many videos, but the ones I have pop. This one is literally. This one is why I obeyed my mother, because she would pull some shit like this.
You been? Hey, you been? Okay. Wait, look it up. Hold on. Wait. Look out. Get yourself, boy. What happened to you, huh? Get to that. Come back. Get in the truck. Get in the truck. Come back, mate. Come back and get in the truck. Get in the truck. Hey, look, I find you. Go on.
I still making my library. You want to it's in the library and down here. Down by Dunkin' Donuts, right?
You come to my library.
I thought I gotta get some.
Yeah, I'm not. That was a father and son, and apparently that father found it somewhere where he shouldn't have been. So that's old school. Am I wrong? Like he cracked. Look,
Where you been?
Right.
Was he cracking him with a stick? Like that wasn't even like go get a switch. That was like here's my freaking stick and I'm beating you with it.
Go to that construction site and bring me back something to hit you with. Oh my gosh.
Right.
Where you been?
Because we'll just hit you with whatever we grab you. This is sorry. Part of that is black people.
The crowd is vicious tonight. What is this? Oh my gosh! I can't.
Right, it's right. Look, y'all don't have to admit it on a live stream, but you've been angry at your kids enough that you wanted to hit them. I didn't say you did. I'm just saying. At some
I'll
point,
tell you, I haven't.
They troll. Really? Not yet? Okay.
I haven't yet. They've been close. They've been close.
Right.
They've been like drag kid by the arm, take him to the room, open where all the belts are hanging. Like you're about to choose one. That's how close you are right now. And he freaks out and he stops. But I'm like,
right. Now again, I didn't say you did it. I just said you thought about it. Right. Anyway, Doug, any comment on corporal punishment and the kids and wanting to do it but not?
Man, let's start on a light note. This is good.
Right. Look, we've been flagged by Google, so we might as well just let it all out here and get it all out. So then, if we can't have any more guests, then fuck it.
We'll just have Casey come back every week. It'll be great.
The audience agrees because we got all kinds of people that we didn't have in here in the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
So Casey brings them in. We already knew this stuff. But anyway, Doug, back to you beating your kids.
Yes, I don't do that. That's what. Also, my kids are freaking bigger than I am now. That would not go over well.
Your kids would beat your ass, actually, at this point. Right. You got a big old tall basketball player. Is he? He's taller than you now, right?
What's that?
You got a big ass tall basketball player. He's taller than you now, right?
Both my kids from my first marriage are both taller than me. And,
right.
And my son who just turned 15, he's 6'4".
Right. So look, Charles got us. Right. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We got it, Charlie. You know.
Is that including like phone books?
Phone books, man. Yeah, so Doug, I'm with you. I got one I think he's taller than me, He's definitely more in shape than I am. So it would be a long. It would. I would kind of like that. I'll probably get my ass knocked down at least a little bit before he like gave up on me. Casey, your kids are too young for this yet. Wait.
Don't worry. I remember. So I'm still working on that book of mine, and I've kind of like, it's like a traumatic experience, if you will, because I have to go back. I have to remember all these things and really go into my history, my dad's history, and kind of like the generations to really write this book. And I remember, like, talking about getting beat. You'd hide yourself in the bathroom and think you can wait your parents out, and you just be like, you lock yourself in. There's like, if I wait long enough, they'll go away. They won't. You will not wait your parents.
You're
out.
in
Your
their
parents
house.
wait there. Yeah,
Right.
they'll either outwait you out of principle, or they'll get a wire hanger and unlock that door and get you, and you're in even worse trouble once they have to go through all that trouble just to get to you. And I'm like, oh boy, like it's remembering all the stories of like the different circumstances of getting beat. I was like, yep, I remember that.
Right, in the Spanish community.
Chancla. Wow.
Yeah. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, that's the shoe. That when they take their shoe off to come after you.
The shoe. And isn't that Muslim people do that too? But that's a different thing, right? Because remember they threw shoes at George W. Bush?
Yeah, but I don't think that was I don't think that was trying to beat your kids. I would think trying to hit a dumbass president.
Right. Well, trying to beat a president. I mean, it's the same thing. I got you. But I think the shoe, though, in Muslim culture is like disrespect. Like, if you throw a shoe at someone, that's like the ultimate level of disrespect. Besides, like punch them in the face or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's something I'm not aware of, but could be.
Yeah, it's a shoe of a flip flop.
Or a flip flop. I think it's or, not of.
A shoe or a flip flop. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
A shoe, that's pretty harsh.
All right, we're taking dark turns here on Brothers and Boots.
Right. Well, it was supposed to be a serious show anyway.
I haven't been back 10 minutes, y'all. Like, it's like I'm looking at this timer. I'm like 17 minutes and 40. I'm like, yo, it has to be 20 minutes, and we're already like getting deep.
We missed the Will Smith stuff. We've moved on, but we clearly still haven't moved on. So, yeah, that's kind of Casey. So since you've not been here, does that make sense? That's not good.
Well, I
got it.
Don't do the
Since
Kelly
you were
Clarkson
last year,
song.
bro. Wow.
That?
You're gonna go since you've been gone, and I'm like, don't do the Kelly Clarkson song.
Oh no.
What up, Zach? Yo.
What's up, Zach? Zach is next week, y'all.
Yeah. And let me tell you, Casey, you've missed Zach being in some rare form here the past few weeks. He just comes in and brings the fucking heat.
Right.
Half the shit we can't post on the screen.
But we're like laughing backstage.
Everybody's like, what is wrong with those guys? We're just
I had fun last week going through Zach's. You have to. Casey, what have you actually, Doug? We're going to throw this in immediately. Why not? Doug and I were all prepared for wonderful guests today. I was ready. I had a bunch of different questions, and then we get Casey.
Hey, wait. hey, hold up.
So, we don't have anything. So, Casey, everything that Casey's doing now is basically non-scripted. I mean, we're always non-scripted, but at least we try to have some parameters about like what we might talk about, so people can bring it. But Casey, you just got thrown right into the mix. So,
that's cool.
Is there anything you've been watching that's been intriguing that we should know about since you last seen us, which has been fucking like 3 years, it feels like.
feels like 3 years, right?
In pandemic time, it's been like 300 years.
Right, exactly. Right.
I feel like I've watched the hell out of everything that I'm starting to rewatch things, but I know Like I just finished watching a season of Vice, which is just like, you know, Vice magazine. They just go over into like
Oh,
No, yeah, that's
places
good
in
stuff.
around the world. Yeah, places you would never like, you know, normally find yourself in. So you're aware of situations happening across the world, which is
Yeah.
it's always really eye opening because, you know, the kids are 8 and 6 now, so they're at the point where I'm trying to teach them not to take things for granted, and the fact that they have, you know, their lives are good and they have a solid neighborhood around them, things like that. I'm always like, yeah, but you need to know that this isn't what everyone has. Like, you're
Mhm.
lucky. And so I like, you know,
Mhm.
watching things like Vice help me to have the right framing for those conversations with them, to tell them like this is what's happening in the world, and like, you know, this is why like you have a good life. So Vice was really good for that. Before that, watched a bit of Barry. Barry was pretty interesting about disillusioned hitman who gets into an acting class and is trying to figure things out. But I'm finding more and more that I go back to my like old classics. Like, you know, I love seasons 1 to 3 of Community, or seasons 1 to 3 of Arrested Development, The Wire. Like I just rewatched all of Breaking Bad, and I was like, I realized after watching Breaking Bad again that I'm like, wow, Skylar's not that horrible a person. Like, people hate on Skylar a lot in that series, and I'm just like, no. She was being gaslit by her husband the entire damn show. So I think everything she does is justified. So I'm seeing things again in a new light with after a second or third watch. I don't think there's too much. Oh well, there's one show I'm watching right now. There is one show I'm really enjoying. Winning Time.
Yes,
Winning Time is great. Oh my gosh, I
it
love
is
it
such
so
a
much.
it is such a bizarro fucking wacko show. It's so good.
I would not have survived as like an adult in the 70s. Like, I would just be strung out somewhere. It would be bad. It would be
No,
horrible.
I haven't seen it. I'm waiting for it to
Finish up so you can just
accumulate some so I can binge watch like 1,700 in a row.
yeah.
I'm that guy and Doug is not, and we argue about that shit all the time. But but what I love about it, Casey, is all the lawsuits that have come from it. It just amuses me to tears. But I don't know if you've seen it, right? Jerry West is sued, and
Really?
Kareem say he won it. Yeah, and then
And Kareem was talking about how it wasn't true.
he's taking it to the Supreme Court, Jerry West.
Go ahead, Jerry West. Enjoy that.
What, like defamation?
Or I think
Yeah.
that's what it is. Or yeah. And then Kareem is all up in his feelings about it too.
And then he did it. He apologized for that after the fact, though.
Oh,
Okay.
did he? Did he?
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, I think I said it before in the show. Y'all like suing a lot down there, like in the States. Y'all sue up for anything.
We sue. We'll just
You breathed on me wrong. I suing. Boom.
We sue. We're gonna sue. Right.
And the thing is, the way they depicted Kareem in that show really wasn't terrible. I mean,
Not at all.
he was going through shit because he converted to being a Muslim in the middle of the fucking civil rights era. Like, he was going through some shit. So yeah, he was a cranky guy. He was always known to be a cranky guy after he changed because of that.
But was he bitching about his depiction, or was he bitching about the overall? I missed it.
I think he was doing it in general, but regardless, like, listen, he was talking about, part of it was like about his spiritual journey a bit too. So it's like, it's not like he was portrayed poorly at all. It's just maybe he was a little cranky then.
Yeah.
I 100%, Zach. 100%. Right in the heart of Toronto, Ontario.
See, look at this. The papers are coming.
Victor.
The papers
I'm sorry.
are
Okay.
headed your way.
Let me answer. Let me answer.
Sue over the border, man. That's legit.
Greg, I'm gonna answer your earlier question, Greg. Okay, this is what happened. This is what happened to Casey Palmer, that I was gone for so long. So after Father's Day last year, I was burnt the hell out because I was working way too hard on content. Like, I was at home, my kids were stuck. Like, we weren't doing school in person in Ontario for like 8 months. So my kids were home all the time while I was trying to work my job, while I was trying to do the content. It was mad. I got burnt out. I spent the entire summer recovering. In the middle of that summer, I took on a new job as a manager of a team that manages all of the IT hardware across the entire province. And things happen. People broke collarbones. Not my fault. Happened. And now I run a team of 20 in one of the business areas of government. It is a lot of work. And What I am learning, though, is that from a management position, I've learned what I can do, what I can't do, who I am, what it's like when people are breaking the law, and then I have to actually start doing stuff that might involve me having to go testify in court. Hey, so yeah, it's been a lot, but I was telling the crew that I'm finally at the point, 9 months into this job, where I feel like starting to balance again. I was like, I really want to come back on the stream, and things worked out. And Doug's like, how about tonight?
Right.
And so I'm here. Hey.
Right. I blame the Googles. And
Zach,
you
I
seem
have a
nice
dark side,
until-
Zach. I have a dark side, man. I'm sorry. I don't know nothing about those broken collarbones.
It's very sus.
It's so sus.
Doug, what are you watching? I think I see it here.
Yes. This new season of The
Oh,
Circle.
no.
It is the dumbest show.
Oh my gosh.
It is.
Yo,
It's
season
not
one I
arguing with it.
loved.
We're gonna argue
Season
that
one
one.
I loved. Season two I was like, eh. Now I overhear Sarah playing it in the next room, and I'm just kind of like, these people sound so dumb. I can't. I can't.
There is one person on the show who was playing. It was catfishing. She was playing somebody else, and she was playing somebody much older. It was her father, and they asked,
Don't ruin
what would be your memoir?
How do you
And
ruin it?
Trust
Yeah.
me, I'm not ruining anything.
How do you ruin it, Greg?
Because
They
you
asked-
tell the people that got what is it?
yeah,
Canceled
whatever,
or what?
whatever. But
No, I want Doug. Go ahead.
so anyway, the question was sent to the group. What would be the title of your memoir? And she had no idea what the word memoir meant.
Stop. No. Stop. Stop.
And the worst part is choose. And hey, if you want to dress however you want to dress, I'm cool with that. But she dressed where her boobs looked really uncomfortable the entire time because they were just popping out the entire time. And I'm like, maybe that's comfortable for her. That looks to me like that would be really.
Nah, it looked like she was missing fabric, man. I was just like,
Yeah.
girl. I'm sorry. Like, I'm glad you're endowed and blessed, but shoot, like, where comfort, yo? Go for comfort. Seriously.
Doug,
Yep.
he wants you to. You can't ruin anything Doug watches because it started ruined.
I mean, I'm just talking about this particular show. I think Doug is a wonderful human being with lots of awesome things, except this one. This is not good. This is not a good. I do not. Between this and Selling Sunset, I don't know which one I hate worse. Is all I'm saying.
Have you ever? I got Greg hooked on Love Is Blind. Did you see that shit?
Oh my gosh. Oh, so Love Is Blind, I respect, and I'll tell you why. Because the drama that happens with hold on, the drama that happens between the couples on Love Is Blind is visceral. Like when you had what was that? Shake is an asshole, and I was like, yo, Shake, why are you the worst person ever? Like I was like, okay, Love Is Blind. I'm vested in Love Is Blind because I was just like, some of these people are horrible, or some of them are just like this mismatch of a couple. I'm here to see every moment of this entire train wreck. Let's go.
I think you have a full range in that. You have like every shade of like horrible human being, from the worst ever, which is Shake, to the best, not the best, but there were some really sweet people in there who really wanted, that showed their heart, that really, really nice, approachable Americans. I know this is hard to believe, but we do have one or two of them. But yeah, Shake. Oh, what is this?
Zach.
I like Shake, but he's an ass. I wanted to like Shake for like
I wanted
2
to
minutes.
in the beginning. There's a while.
It was 2 minutes though, because remember he started with this whole, well, can I pick you up on my shoulders fucking bit, and I was like, dude, that's so shallow, and everybody knows what the fuck you're talking about.
Zach is killing it.
Yes.
I'm
gonna try to come next week.
Try.
How about both? Because what I want to see is Zach posts pictures of his wife eating, and she hates getting her hands dirty, so she'll wear gloves. It is the best thing ever. I love both of them so much because they're the cutest freaking couple because they make fun of each other, and it's just awesome.
What about that thing called a fork?
She uses utensils. It's not like she doesn't use utensils. It's amazing.
Isn't that what we got those for? Or we need to have we absolutely gotta have Zach's wife. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next week, but they need to make a dual appearance.
Yes,
we gotta somehow figure that out. Right. If not, we'll just cut Zach out of it totally. And just have her. That's it.
Can you imagine just like
we'll
a blur, just blur his face out? It's like Zach's wife and this next man over here, like
right.
And then have his voice change.
Change to protect the innocent.
My girl's obsessed with Korean shows.
Yo,
yes,
can I say
what's this about?
As soon as I watch Squid Game, Netflix is like, there's all these other ones too. Have you guys not watched Squid Game?
Yes, I did.
No.
Greg.
Squid Game is excellent.
Okay, so I gotta get on Squid Games. Okay.
A little late to the game there, Greg. But yeah,
I'm late. But Doug, I'm late for all this shit. I want to. I got Casey's part of my game plan is to kind of be late to all these things.
But
so that because again, I'm a binger. I need to watch that shit.
It's all there.
It's all there. You have the whole.
It's all there.
Right, but are they going to do another season?
Doesn't matter. I don't think.
No, it does matter. It fucking does.
I don't even know if you could.
I'm thinking about it. They said they were going to, and I, like you said, Casey, I'm not sure how. I'm not sure how you go in.
No, man, Squid Game is dope. Squid Game is one of the best things I watched over the pandemic. 100%.
Wow.
Love it.
Okay.
Oh, so good.
Zach already admits that he gets stitched already. So when we did Zach, it'll be fine. But no, I'm down with the Squid Game.
I don't know. Okay, guys, Squid Game season 1 was so good. I don't know if you can follow up with a season 2 that's gonna be good. Have you seen Netflix takes things and then they ruin them? That's something that Netflix does. Like Black Mirror used to be really hype when it was in the UK, and then they went and did it. What?
Bite your tongue. They had you meet Ryan Reynolds. You're biting the hand that feeds you.
I do this all the time. This is part of my charm. I survive in Canadian media by biting hands all the time. Where it's just kind of like, Casey, just give it to us as it is. I'm like,
Zach's right.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I'll watch it in a couple of years. Right.
But you're right. But you're right about Black Mirror, and that the last season was lackluster. But man,
had one episode where I was like, this is pretty good, and then the rest of the other episodes are very just shrug. And yeah, I'll watch Squid Game season 2. Do not get me wrong. I will watch the hell out of it. I just don't have high expectations.
So Netflix does this though. They don't know when to stop.
That's a good way to put it.
Because it sounds like they should just be done with Squid Games and be like, look, one and done. It is what it is. Yeah. I said I wasn't going to comment on Ozark, but I'm going to comment on Ozark. I don't know if you've seen that one, Casey.
I've seen it through. I've seen it all the way through.
But okay. See, I would argue that there's more to that story. I don't want to. I guess that could be a spoiler. I just think that they could go further with.
I'm gonna take your comment. I'm gonna take your comment and push it one more level and say
no spoilers.
They focused on the wrong story.
Okay.
Right? Because by the time you get through Ozark, you get to a point where you're just like, okay. But I feel like there are other people that they could have focused on in the world of Ozark that would have been way more compelling.
So you agree with me? They could have went longer.
100%.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. But Netflix has this issue because most people bitch about Netflix saying, y'all ended the show before, y'all cut it off too soon is what I hear a lot of people bitch about Netflix. And then you have the ones that they just let go, 2 and 3 seasons after, and they completely ruined it because then people are completely out. People are like, shows they watch for 2-3 years and they're like, no, I'm done with this shit. I don't and as a binger, Doug, that's really hard this is the bad part about binging, is that once you start binging, you just go to the end, whether it's whether it's shit or not.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have shows like Lost, which I've never seen, but y'all bitch about that last show. Y'all want to kill, kill people. That last show, it was the last show. It wasn't like Game of Thrones, which a lot of people had a problem with the last season. With Lost, it seems like y'all, and I've never seen either one of them.
Lost is only secondary.
Y'all got pissed off at that
Lost last episode is only second to Seinfeld's last episode. Seinfeld's last episode is the one where everyone's just kind of like, what the hell was that? But last episode was
that and the
very similar.
Sopranos. People thought the Sopranos ending was weird too for some.
That's
some
true.
People.
Well,
now hold on, Doug. That was a scene. So that was
Very
the
true.
last
Very
Sopranos scene.
Very
I never watched
No,
the Sopranos,
no,
so
right. But I'm just saying they're all kind of different. Like everybody loved the Sopranos until the last scene. Everybody loved Lost until the last show. Everybody loved Game of Thrones until the last season. So it's like there's a, you know what I mean? Like people are going to bitch at some point. And I'm waiting for Casey. This whole binging thing is weird about how they just release shows and all this. And like I was asking Doug, and you probably saw it. I think it was in the Brothers and Booze co-host thread that we have. And I asked everybody in there, when is spoilers? And y'all tell me in the comments too. Let's talk about spoilers. When is it? Ozark ended last Friday. They dropped 7 shows last Friday.
And you watched all of them. You watched all of them Friday night, didn't you, you motherfucker?
I got to Sunday, relax, or no, Saturday afternoon. But I watched 4 of those damn shows, Casey. Literally at 2:00 a.m. is when they came up, and I was watching that shit at 2:02. My point is, I saw the ending, and I had my reaction. I went to Twitter, retweeted some things, but didn't say much. When is spoilers? Like what is that gap? When can I start? If I love the ending of it, when can I start screaming about it? If I hated it, I'm not even going to tell anybody whether I hated it or loved it or not. I'm just going to say that it was kind of controversial, and I want to comment on it. So when do I get to do that? When does someone have to binge 7 shows? Like, is it a week? Is it and then because I'll be the asshole to say, look, Ruth.
Yeah. Okay. So it depends, right? Here's the thing, because like we become so impatient as a society where like we want to spit it out right away. For me as an example, like I binge the hell at everything, but I still haven't watched Spider-Man No Way Home because I just hadn't got around to it in theaters. And then in order to watch it online, you'd have to buy it. And now I'm just like, okay, now I can finally rent it. I just haven't found the time to do it. So I was going to do it this weekend, sit down, finally take in this movie that I wanted to see, but haven't made the time for. But there's always going to be people who are, trying to schedule the things in. And I've just been dodging the hell out of the internet. So I think you can spoil whenever you want. I think people need to have enough common sense to just stay the frig off social media for a while if they don't want to be spoiled on something, and find the time to watch it and then come back when they're done.
Yeah. Try telling that to some of my kids about some of the things they like to watch.
Right.
Pause.
Because they have a burden.
Right.
But the thing is that they also have to kind of live their lives mostly online in ways. So it's a bit different for me. I can stay away from social media some, and it doesn't bother me that much. But it's a much different game for them. So yeah, I say that.
Wow.
I say that with a joking thing.
Wow.
But for me, I can do that. But some people can't, and that's just the way it is.
Kids are assholes, though. I mean, yeah, like I say that not our kids, but the kids they're around, like they'll like spoil things for them because they find it fun without the actual empathy to realize that it's just like you really ruined shit for that person. Like that was not cool. So I think I understand. I hear what you're saying, Doug. I just think they're just surrounded by like you. I see high school as a place where a bunch of kids are shoved into one place largely because of a location, and you just deal with a number of conflicting personalities, and good luck to you. It's like a zoo of these human beings, and you're just like, oh, this is gonna suck for 4 years, but just suck it up and you'll be fine. And then you get out of there and live the rest of your life.
Yep.
Yeah. Love it.
Right.
Yeah. And I agree with Chris that 7 days is a good space. Now I would say 7 days for maybe at the end of the season or end of the series, not 7 days like how Ozark split it and you had this. And then I think maybe you should have a week. You can discuss it after that. And then, or if you're going to post them, just say, spoiler alert, I'm going to talk about spoilers here. And then say your shit.
They dropped 7 shows at once, though. Like, what is it? Listen, I know I'm not a normal human being. I know people aren't waiting up to 2 a.m. to watch 4 fucking shows and then take a nap during the day because you're a fucking idiot. You were watching TV till the fucking sun rose. I understand people have real jobs, have to fucking deal with life, and can't just take that shit like me. So, like, when is, I was just thinking, like, when is, it just got me in this big old hypothetical, like, I will, those days where you're smoking weed in the back with your friends and having all these, like, big, deep conversations like if Saturn and Jupiter hit each other, then what the fuck would happen? It was kind of one of those times, Casey, where like 7 shows drop. What is the average person? How long does it take them to get through 7 shows and then get online and bitch about it? So, yeah, that's
How strong was that weed, bro?
Chris says that the last scene in Ozark was brilliant.
No, I think that was for Sopranos.
Oh, The Sopranos. I
feel like that was Sopranos.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think.
And-
Although the last scene
and-
in Moon Knight was excellent too. So.
And the last scene in Sopranos was brilliant, in my opinion. I agree. People were bitching about it. Stop bitching. Let's see here. Seinfeld's last episode. Yikes!
It was bad.
I've seen about 5 Seinfelds in my whole
I
life.
watched the entire series, and I can tell you that it was consistent up until the last episode. Like consistent, like not like so amazing it blows your mind, but at least you can like vibe with it until literally the last episode, where it just took it completely out of the mental space and was just like, "What is happening?"
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a very different vibe that last episode than the rest of the series. But yeah,
Maverick is going to be the next Top Gun movie. Spoiler.
That's I feel horrible now, Daniel. Horrible.
Victor. Destruction. That'd be good. But what happens though? What happens if 2 gas giants hit each other? Do they actually hit, or is it like gas going through each other and like? I forget it. Y'all don't even.
They still have They still have planetary cores and conflicting gravity, so there would be a hot mess of whatever, and then it would mess with the rest of the orbits of the rest of the planets.
Yep.
It would be pretty as fuck though.
Yes.
Yeah, if you live long enough to see it, yeah.
Right. Well, there will be some collisions because they have 100 moons between them, by the way. And Jupiter. Also Jupiter has rings too, y'all. So there'd be a ring collision.
Ring.
Anyway, we never talk astronomy on the show, so this is what you get. Sorry, y'all. After 7 days, okay. So Chris, does that count for like another thing we talked about, but I've seen is the Batman, the latest Batman movie. So can I talk about that now because it released on
It's streaming now.
Yeah, it's streaming now.
Right.
Yeah,
talk about it.
Okay, cool. I don't know the spoiler rules because people get really angry about that shit.
Didn't Robert Pattinson just like quit after that Batman? He's like, yeah, I'm done with Batman films after this.
No, they're doing another one. They're doing another one.
Okay.
Yeah,
I could have heard things wrong. It's possible. It happens.
And he was pretty good. He was better than I gave him credit for. I thought it was gonna be like Twilight Batman or some bullshit.
He sparkles in the dark in the sunlight.
Or something. I don't know. And here's Twilight, a show that I've never seen. And I just have bad, feelings about it.
You don't have to. You're not missing anything.
Yeah, you're not missing anything at all.
What Twilight?
Yeah.
Yeah, Twilight and the entire series. Just don't even.
And it's a good reason not to like him though, right?
It's a valid reason not to like him, yes, because he's associated with a property that
He redeemed himself with the Batman. He was angry and pissed off, and he played it pretty well. He did really good.
Yeah, that's Twilight is what he will get roasted for, but he's been pretty good in a lot of things. So absolutely not. Greg, we're not doing that. Just for the record, I'll log off.
Just say I'm Team Jacob. Is that what? Okay. We're talking about Quantum Leap in the comments.
That's because Victor said the series finale that like still gets to him, and that was a really hard.
I don't remember the season finale, but I remember that show being pretty good. That was good times, right? Quantum Leap.
Mm-hmm. But what I was going to say, but what I was going to say is with Pattinson, he was in a movie called The Lighthouse, which was Willem Dafoe, which is him and Willem Dafoe, and it's black and white. It's like an artsy movie. He's fucking great in it, absolutely great. So
okay,
yeah, it's gritty but really really good.
We still have Will Smith and Chris Rock jokes to go. Yeah. There wasn't a season finale; it just kind of stopped.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Because they couldn't get it renewed, but I think they kind of knew that was coming to the end at that point, so that's fine.
Right. Doug, you have something to say?
I have beer number 2. So, and I got this on the 29th of last month. So what, a week? 1 week. So this is the North Brewery.
Oh, it's the North.
Peanut butter Dimension Porter, 9%.
Dimension?
Mm-hmm. So peanut butter porter, apparently.
Okay.
Wait, did they write that on or did you write it on?
They wrote it on. They actually, because depends on who you get. Some of the bartenders actually have good handwriting, and others you just don't know what the fuck they put on it. It's like they worked at Starbucks before they started there. So, all right, let's pick this up without spilling it. That would be really good.
Is that an extra big can?
It's a crowler.
Oh.
So, they didn't
I
have
actually know what a crowler and a growler are because y'all got me drinking so much over the last couple of years that I'm like, hey, I know these things now.
So it's our fault.
Hey, you started this episode blaming me for stuff. You take the accountability now and
man. Casey, do you have anything to help us understand America? Or do you have any questions? The reason I say that is because I actually want to use this. Anything that there has to be something. There has to be.
I mean, Wade versus Roe. Roe versus Wade is the low hanging fruit, but let's not go there right now. I'm sure we can find other things that are a hot mess in the nation right now. So
you're right.
This is like okay. Let's talk about other things. Let's talk about something else. So why is it that after all these years you guys still just can't get over the fact that just kind of like, no matter the color of skin, y'all got a lot of broke people and not that many rich people. Maybe the broke people need to all just get together and just kind of like make sure the rich people can stop getting so damn rich. It's just a thought.
That's a great idea. Except we have these things called Fox News and Newsmax who do a very good job of brainwashing the folks that could actually band together and try to, because they vote against their own interests all the time.
Right.
All right.
And it is very much a thing of, I mean, there's always been fear mongering and things like that. Yeah, he went big, didn't he? Here, let's drop the heavy shit.
Right.
So, but I'm a political junkie, so I follow that shit all the time. And we've always had a lot of fear thrown from one side or the other, and parties have changed and switched back and forth. But there's always been one party that operates on fear and one party that operates on wanting to do good by the others. But that doesn't mean that that's all the same one party. Sometimes that's not the case. But in recent history, yes,
it's really clear that one benefits vastly more than they both actually benefit. If the Democrats could get enough poor people to vote, we would be able to do the shit that Casey says. But we can't for whatever reason, and part of it is because of the right has been successful in having white people believe that Juan, who's trying to bring his family from Guatemala because his family might be killed, is more of a threat to them than Mr. Elon Musk and Mr. Dick Rockets.
Dick Rockets.
All these people. Yeah, I mean, again, and Elon Musk wants to buy Twitter for free speech.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Free speech as long as you're talking the language they want to talk. That's all.
And if you believe that, I will sell you True Social for $5, Doug. That's about what it's worth. True Social. True Social.
I appreciate that response, though. I mean, with the entire idea of the fact that people are fed information that causes them to, not keep their eye on the prize, like that's really unfortunate, because it's obviously not an easy solution to upset the balance of how things work, for sure. But I think there's just so much more that could be accomplished if you kind of see that the lines we draw between each other are the wrong lines to focus on if you want to add any sense of progress whatsoever. So,
well, and you see that also, Casey. I don't know if you know this, but first of all, it was about 2 years ago that Clubhouse started, and you got involved in it. You got an early invite, and you said that shit, like, it was just so fascinating to you. It just took you away, literally. It swept you away. Well, that's kind of where I'm at with Twitter Spaces. Why does this matter what we're talking about? It's because Twitter Spaces opened my eyes to the battle that African Americans and immigrant Africans are literally in right now, Doug. Like, I just left the space right before we got on here about this infighting. People are like, what are you talking about?
Oh, the hate is real, man. It's crazy.
It's real, and it's crazy, and it's divisive. And it's just a part of another plan from somebody to keep African American and African people just away. Long story short, we have this group called FBA, Doug, Foundational Black Americans. They are Black Americans who are descended from slaves. So they're American people, but they obviously their lineage is from, or they claim their lineage is from slaves brought over here by the white man from Africa. Then you have African people, like literally Cameroonians, Ghanaians, Nigerians, who immigrate to America, but they're not necessarily descendants of slaves that were here that helped build America. The Foundation Black Americans generally don't like the immigrant Africans because they believe that if there's ever reparations given out, which there probably never will be, because this is America.
They're basing the argument based on something that's never going to happen. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Well, no. I'm saying that. FBA says that they're getting their reparations. They just don't want the Africans who are coming over here
having any of it. Yeah.
Having any of it. Now, yeah. So now there's this big battle. So now the immigrants from Africa are calling FBA a hate group because basically they're just, FBA is a bunch of xenophobes because, again, if you talk to them, it's just like immigrants this, immigrants that. They come over here and they really sound like white supremacists. I'm just telling you my view on it. So then we have that, Casey. So then how are we ever going to we can't even get black people to agree. So real quick, that Casey. So the people who believe, I generally am in the corner of Pan-Africanism is what it's called, meaning all black people are from Africa and we're all in the same boat. And if there's reparations, I really don't give a shit who gets them. I just think our community needs to get them. But for some reason, these people think it's going to be like checks handed out. And that's not what's going to happen if anything happens. It's going to be, structural, like it should be. Like, money to the HBCUs. It should be, programs for advancement. All those different things. So that's where we're at, Doug. And these motherfuckers have spaces, Casey, 24 hours in a row. And these people are just arguing. And like more people come in and they fight. And they're like, you FBA people. And the FBA people, if you Twitter FBA, you'll find a whole bunch of people who have FBA in their profiles. They got a flag. They got all this shit. Tariq Nasheed is their leader. And then, like, we have the Pan-African people who are a bunch of immigrants, and then they have spaces, and then they argue, and then the Pan-African people go into FBA spaces, and FBA spaces. And Casey, I'm just completely... I'm telling you, I am so... what's the word? Like, attached. It's like my new... binging. I can't get off of it. I sit here all day. I have a tablet dedicated for fucking Twitter Spaces that sits by my desk here as I work, just playing these fucking Twitter Spaces. I can't get out of them. Oh, by the way, I do one myself about beer on Thursdays. I got a couple coming up on Tuesdays. I love Twitter Spaces. I think it's fucking fantastic. I love it. If Elon Musk fucks up Twitter, I don't know what I'm going to do. But anyway, I'll let y'all in.
It's cool.
I'll let y'all in because it's just so fascinating, Casey.
You're going to flame out of Twitter Spaces eventually. There's going to be a point where you're just like, I've done too much of this. I'm in too deep, and it just gets, that was me in Clubhouse. I got to a point where it's like, I've done too much of this, and you step away. I think it was about like 3 to 6 months in, and I was just like, I can't anymore. This is being too much. I still do a music battle room on Tuesday nights, which is fun, but that's just, just to get with my people. But it was
can you get me an invite
to Clubhouse?
Yeah,
it's just open now. Everyone can go on. Yeah, man.
Oh, so the Cool Kids Club is no longer the Cool Kids Club.
Right.
Sorry.
Right.
So,
it's fascinating, though, in my opinion. Getting back real quick, I'm sorry to cut you off, Doug, about how, again, the lower class, lower income people, we're just all infighting ourselves. We don't have time for the big guy, Casey. We're too busy fighting ourselves.
Well,
we don't have time for that shit.
I was gonna say, so it was 2012 when I fully understood for the first time that trying to come up with policy or anything based on the concept of being black was like problematic. And it was when I went to Tanzania, and I was in Tanzania, and one of the things we got to do when we were there, we got to talk to some Maasai and Iraqu tribes over on the east side of the continent, and just kind of get to know how they live and how they see things and everything. And it was interesting because they looked at me and they're like, wait, hold on. You look like us, but you live in Canada. Like, how does that work? And I'm like, and I basically was giving them an impromptu lesson on being stolen from Africa 600 years ago, going across the water, being enslaved, everything. I had to like go through all the steps of everything to explain to them what happened, because for them, that was never part of their narrative. They never understood the entire idea of slavery as a concept. Like, that's something that they just were like flabbergasted by when they heard it, like, oh, wow, that sounds horrible. But it made me realize that we so much of our identity as Black people in North America hinges on the slavery narrative, and that's such a huge part of our identity. And then over there, it was just kind of like, that is not who they are whatsoever. And I was like, interesting. And so it's kind of like, you do end up with almost like these two parallel realities when you talk about FBA versus the Pan-African. Like, it feels like almost like two different identities are clashing together, because it's like, one is like hinged on this huge traumatic event that has completely created almost like a new type of Black people basically over here, versus like people who've just been doing the same thing for generations after generations. And I don't think they should ever have to fully understand each other, because they're two different cultures altogether that are tied together by someone basically being like, y'all look the same.
Right. See, I'm the look, we're all Black, and that's all people see. So that's why I consider myself that's what,
I was like, what?
That's why I consider myself a Pan-Africanism. Also, I don't believe we're ever going to get reparations of any kind of form and anything anyway. So if we're going to do it, give it out to whoever. Who cares? But then this is nitpicky, Casey. Like, are Dominicans Black? Are Jamaicans Black? Yes. Hell yes. We've lost. If we're even arguing about this, we've really lost we just lost everything. Like, what? I don't. And Black people sold slaves, and Oh my god.
Yo, honestly,
So yeah, I don't know. For some reason, this is definitely fascinating. I will spend all day tomorrow, fucking in the afternoon, out on my deck, drinking a beer, listening to this shit. And I don't know. I love spaces too because you can do like happy faces and like emojis. So I sit there and laugh all the time, or I clap. I rarely talk because I don't really have anything to add to this. I just have my opinion and that's it. And
You're a looky Lou.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm a lurker for sure. There. If you want to talk beer, that's cool. But I'm not really trying to fight or argue with any black people over this. I don't even want you know what I mean, Casey? I don't even want that negativity. I don't even want to have, you know what I mean? It's like, can't we focus this on white supremacists? Can't we focus this on that stupid asshole? What's his name? I forget because he's a stupid asshole. Who's one of our main white supremacist people, Doug? What's his name? He's the one that we sued out of business. We sued him because of his assholish comments about Sandy Hook. What's his name?
Oh, Alex Jones.
Yeah, he's one of them. Or Roger Stone or whatever. Can't we focus our fire? Donald Trump. Hey, how about that one? Hey, can we focus our fire at one? No, we gotta shoot each other. Anyway. Yeah.
I haven't been around in a while, but I feel like this is probably one of your darker episodes as of late.
Well, it was supposed to be real dark before Roo couldn't come on. So
true.
We're gonna do that, but we're having way more fun than respectfully we would have had Roo because obviously it's kind of hard to transition out of child rape and child sex trafficking and all that. What are you gonna say, Doug? Let Doug talk because I'm just all over the fucking place. Shut up.
So
I'm getting out of here.
So just the one thing that I wanted to remark on is, Casey, you were talking about poor people trying to come together. It suits the wealthy to make sure we're squabbling.
Very true.
And they put in roads to make sure that's the case. That's like what I said, with them being fed the information from all these news sources. Not just that. Our politicians are fucking handed money right and left from different places that it suits them for us to squabble with each other. So it's a whole funnel system. And it sucks. I mean, we are an extraordinarily wealthy country. Homelessness should be a near zero thing. For instance, just that particular issue. We have a fuck ton of houses that are uninhabited. Why are we not just saying, hey, you need a house? Oh, I can go stay over there. Like, we have the ability and the means to do it, and we just don't do it.
And not only are they uninhabited, we're building on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
We build buildings just so they can be empty.
Because there are tax breaks involved.
Yeah,
it's not as simple as like the false information. It's a fucking whole system. It's a house of cards system. Eventually, it's going to fall. I hate to say it that way, but that's what it feels like.
So back to what you were watching.
Yes.
Because it really triggers Zach, and we got to get them all triggered up for next week. Get them all fired up. Doug, do you have anything more besides that circle mess? And I didn't want you to fucking spoil it. That's what I didn't want because I know they dropped 5 episodes, and I barely made it to the first one. They made their first rankings, Casey. You should be watching, and it looked like that catfish lady was down at the bottom. So. Yeah. Hopefully they get rid of her because she's a fucking idiot.
Well, now
if you don't know what I meant, right? Well, don't see. It's not within the 7 days, so let's even go by Christian standard. Not even the 7 days. No, damn it.
The only thing I watched was I finished Moon Knight, but
that was asked. What's up with Moon Knight? Have you seen that, Casey? What's going on?
I have. I watch most Marvel things, unless it's in a theater, basically right now. But yeah totally watch Moon Knight.
Episode 5, the next to last episode.
Mm-hmm.
That was an emotional ringer. That one for me. That was woo.
What do y'all say? What do y'all say?
Like Moon Knight season 1 was a season 0. It feels like it was a season 0 where it's just kind of like, let's set up everything for a proper season 1. I was like, yeah, all right. Like, I liked it, but it's just kind of like,
weirdly not focused on the actual superhero bit all that much.
Yeah.
For being a superhero show. But as I said before, Oscar Isaac deserves all the awards, all of them.
He's the guy that does Moon Knight?
Yeah,
So,
he's.
What do y'all say to the people who say that Moon Knight is Marvel's Batman?
He's not.
No.
Okay.
Isn't that Tony Stark? Basically.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I'm just telling you what I saw.
Rich kid who builds weapons and inherited all his money from his dead parents. Yeah, that sounds pretty similar.
Yeah, people think Moon Knight is Marvel's Batman because he operates at night and has a cape. It's like the most shallow comparison ever. It's the worst. Oh, in the comics. Okay, comic version. Fair enough, Daniel. Fair enough. You are correct. His job is very different in this show adaptation versus the source material. So I will give you that. That is true.
Gotcha. Okay.
That I didn't know because I never read any of the comics. I just was like, oh, I want to see that. That looks super interesting. So yeah.
Y'all know that Twitter's the biggest influence in my life. Period.
I don't know what to feel about that.
Neither do I. Okay, but it's better than Fox News, motherfuckers. So that's all I got.
I'll give you that. There's at least some diversity of voices on Twitter to a degree.
And at least I know where I'm getting my bad influences from. I know it going in. It's not that I'm mesmerized by it and I have no idea. Oh, I know when I click on that stupid little bird that I'm gonna get some crazy ass shit. But again, it enlightened me to this FBA Pan American thing, Casey, that I had no idea what was going on.
Okay. But you raise a valid point because back on Clubhouse, like, so it was such an interesting mix. Like, I would have my people I know from real life, and then there's people I've met on Clubhouse and like vibe with them, and this weird middle area of people I don't know, but they're interacting with these two groups. And there's one story it's like a classic story from my friend group where we talk about this one time we had a room in there and we're talking about just like how people doing and what's going on, how are they making it through the pandemic. And my one friend, she has two younger children, like younger than mine, and she'd like make pizza. They have a pizza stove and they make pizza every Friday. They try different toppings and they just have like a nice family get together with the four of them making pizza. And like, that's how they were getting through the pandemic. And this other person comes in and is like, you know what? It's like, I'm happy for you and your pizza, but your pizza story is really triggering me. It's like, you have to understand other people are not surviving well through the pandemic and your family's good times are making me like feel really sad right now. I was like, we're like,
stop telling me how happy you are.
Right.
And so this is what got me to the point where it's just kind of like this world has some problems.
Well, as we've talked a lot on this show, I think the pandemic has kind of fucked with a lot of people in a lot of different ways mentally, and that sounds like one of them.
It absolutely sounds like one of them, man. Yep. Let's see here. Steven, so I'm not aware of an opposite for Moon Knight in DC Comics. The multiple personalities are rare. Stephen Grant is the comics is closer to Batman. Okay.
And then Daniel talks about the multiple identities being rare, the DID. Unless you count the Phoenix Force kind of, and then Charles is like, no, that's another entity taking over. And they're like, yeah, it's very true. Those are two very different things. I think the dissociative identity. Yeah. It's great.
The nerds are fighting.
I'm looking at all this. I'm like, I get all of this. This is stuff I've talked about.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So at least y'all get it.
Charlie and Daniel, I love you guys. Don't take offense to that. I just thought it's great. I like it. No, it's this. And actually, it's this. And I love when that happens because it's always
it's 2022. Nerds are cool in 2022.
And they know their shit. So it's like really good. And I would be hard pressed to question Daniel on anything because that guy's got a brain that's like a sponge and he knows every goddamn thing. So hey, I'm not saying Charlie's wrong. I'm saying I don't know, and I think it's fascinating to watch them kind of talk it out.
I don't know, right? And I know what you mean, Doug, but I don't know if Daniel knows everything. I know Daniel knows everything that of the shit that we like of all our.
Okay, that's fair.
You know what I mean? Like he's got every lane covered for almost everything that we like, whether it be booze, movies, entertainment, Marvel. You know what I mean? He's in the same shit as us. He's just vastly smarter and probably has a better. He's vastly smarter and he definitely has a better memory of this shit. And we can blame age on that, Doug. All they want.
Anyway, Charlie mentioned
Daniel's not as old as us, so we can even if it's 2 years at this point, Doug. I'm just blaming age for everything.
So Charlie mentioned Doom Patrol. Have either of you seen that?
I've seen most of it. I've seen seasons. It's on season 3 now, I think, and I saw season 1 and 2 and like a half of 3, and I was like, it's fun. I like how they portray them in the live action. It's just, yeah, I have to definitely get back into it to finish up the last season.
Doug, I think you're going to segue this to something.
No, I was just curious because it was something that I kind of had tangentially did some. But all right, Greg, here's your segue.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to say, right?
Yeah, do it.
We're going to have a writer, right? From that, a
Doom Patrol writer?
Yeah, don't we have?
No, we didn't have a Doom Patrol writer. We had a writer who wrote in the Star Wars universe, 2 of them actually.
No. I mean, coming up, isn't Mallory O'Meara's boyfriend?
Oh, yes. I think he's part of that crowd.
Yes.
All right, now
Greg's like prompting here, like.
He's also an Oscar winner. This is Doug's another Doug's fantastic guest. We're gonna have an Oscar.
I couldn't tell. I could not tell.
Right. I was trying to get it out of Doug, but he didn't know. But I think he wrote Doom Patrol, but he writes comics. This is coming up in June. This is going to be, Casey, if you can be around, we'll tell you the date. But I think you'll love this one.
Yeah, he's writer for Doom Patrol. You're correct. Look at you.
That. Cheers. I know more about Doug's guest than Doug does.
That's the pre-win.
Right. But he's an Oscar. He recently won an Oscar, right, Doug?
Wow.
That is correct.
Right.
I'm trying to remember for what it was exactly. Mallory had posted it, and I can't remember, but this is him on Instagram.
Yeah. So yes, he's a writer for Doom Patrol.
He wrote for Buffy too. I forgot about that.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Yeah.
All right. So tell me something good about that shit because I walked out on the movie within 3 minutes. Literally.
Like a Buffy movie?
And it was at the Dollar Movies. It was at the Dollar Movies.
The Buffy
way back in the day. The Buffy show. I thought it was so horrible I couldn't finish it. Even after paying $1. So
I was too young to know better. I just watched it because it was there.
But there was a series though, right? There was a series and then there was a movie. And then all that spurs from a comic, Doc? Or was Buffy a comic?
I do not know the order of events with Buffy. There's a lot going on there. That's a fair question.
I never got it. I never understood it. Was it good shit or not? Or is it good shit?
The show apparently was, as Zach said, it was revolutionary. People loved that show. So I have never watched it, but I'm not one of them.
I'm sorry, Doug.
No, I was just going to say, I'm not one of them, but that's just because I haven't watched it.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Comic, movie, show.
Sorry, you guys got me reading up on Jeremy Lambert right now, and as soon as I saw that he worked on Attack on Titan, I'm like, yo, I'm there. I am so freaking there.
Yes, you gotta bring it, Casey, because I don't know. I got through the first. This is Doug and I talk about this. I got through the first 15 minutes of Doom Patrol, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" I'm out. So then
this is what he does.
This is what I do. Casey, it either grabs me. I'll give it another try, but I haven't given it that second try. So y'all telling me I need to give it a second try, right?
I think Doom Patrol is pretty good. Like when it comes down, it's like a misfit superhero show. People with mismatched powers or powers that don't really vibe, right? And it's a fun show. There's a lot of fun moments. The storylines kind of go all over the place when it comes down to what's in the realm of reality. But I think it's really interesting. I give it at least season 1, I think.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, Daniel. Yes, Attack on Titan. Seriously. As soon as I saw that in its credits, I'm like, oh, we have some things to discuss.
Now what's going to be funny is my wife and 2 of my kids love that show. So now I'm going to tell them that, and I'm going to get some props out of that shit.
There you go.
Even though I
Oh.
had nothing to do with it, I'm good.
Right.
And
right.
the only reason that, like, when we have Mallory on, and by the way, just a dynamite fucking guest. She's awesome.
Yes,
And she said the next time, well, I'll have Jeremy come on because he's a big Scotch guy, and I'm like, that's where I'll connect with him because it's Scotch, and that I can talk.
Yeah,
about.
but we ain't talking about no damn Scotch.
I'm gonna. You guys might talk about your own shit. I'm gonna be over here babbling about.
I'll just nerd out about
I-
Japanese anime. That's what
I
I'll
hear
do.
you, Doug, but I just think the comments are going to be flooded with like Doom Patrol questions about all kinds of, you know what I mean, all that, and that's going to be great. Don't get me wrong, because y'all going to have to back me up because I don't know anything about this shit. But what I do know is that my boys are into all this shit. I don't know if they've seen Doom Patrol, but you know the whole the Marvel universe, DC, and they're just so enthralled in that. But they have never really touched a comic book. First of all, I don't got money for all that shit.
No,
I don't, Doug. This is not a fucking joke. I went and looked because I don't know about y'all, but I do my Christmas shopping year round. And I don't bullshit about that. Like, I literally do. Now, it gets harder as they get older because sometimes they have money of their own, so they can end up going to buy the shit that I bought in fucking January. And now I can't fucking return it. Can you tell us this happened to me before, Casey? Anyway, now I can't fucking return it because I bought it in January and these bitches went out and bought it in September. So, whether it be games or not. But what I try to do is try to buy things, especially now, that I don't think they either have the money for or that I know that they want, but they're not going to spend their own money. Because it gets to a point to where they get their own money, Casey, you're not there yet. And then they're like, you know what I mean? Then they start to buy different things of their own. My point is that I started to look up comic books because they like they're in all these areas. And then I know that they, from homeschooling, I know that they like graphic novels. And if I give them a book to read, I give them a graphic novel to read. Their comprehension is just, the graphic novel up here, the book down here. It's just what it is.
How old are your kids now?
18 and 16.
Okay, yeah. So when we decided to have kids, part of what I need to do, and these guys are mentioning it's free comic book day tomorrow, so you need to get to a comic book store and pick up some free issues to like figure out which series you kind of want to get into. They usually have like 10 to 20 different comic books you can just kind of pick up for free and then read them to figure out, what really wets your whistle, so to speak. But when we decided to have kids, I had to pare down my comic book collection because we need to make room for their stuff and their books and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like if you go in their room, you have like the front layer of a bookshelf, which is like all their stuff. And then behind closed doors is like all my comics and everything. I still probably have a good 500 to 700 graphic novels like that are there just waiting for the kids to get old enough to read them. Because when I grew up, I spent time as a teenager hanging out at the local comic store and helping out. I wasn't paid. I was just friends with people who were there and would hang out debating comics and stuff until closing.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, but I'd be hanging out until they were like, they'd give me a ride home because I'd be there so late and I help them close up shop and stuff like that. But comics run deep in my soul, and I pared down to like the graphic novel series I have left are the ones that are like the stories that mean so much to me that I would not part with them. And it was hard. It was hard to come to like, these are my core series that are like the ones that I'm just like, these are gems. But if your boys ever want to kind of have some guidance of which way to go, like, let me know. I know some things.
Why don't you
Wow,
just get rid of the kids?
Wow.
Manny says the quiet shit out loud.
Wow.
But yes, Casey, but no, like, I was like, oh, maybe I can get him the origin book of the Batman. I go look up that shit. And,
no, you can't.
Well, you can, but it's like, or not you can, but they have ones that are like combined. They're not the original series, but they have ones that, you know what I'm talking about. $80, $70. And I'm like, oh, this is where we're at. Okay.
See, my thing is like once you start getting past DC and Marvel and realizing just how much is out there, like it blows your mind.
Right.
Two of my favorite, one of my favorite series is Lone Wolf and Cub, which is like a Japanese series from the 80s that's based on like an old folklore of like Edo era Japan from like the 1500s, and it's just like the most genius stuff. It's like black and white. It's 28 books long, but it's amazing. Or you have like over on Prime Video, there's Invincible, which had the season 1, which was really, really, really good, like super good. And the comic book that is based off of is super amazing as well. Like I think it's 18 volumes, maybe more. But it's just like there's a lot of good stuff out there that isn't Marvel and DC. It's just that they're getting the most shine because people are just so used to that.
Yeah. What's amazing too is the idea of going to like, I don't know if either of you have ever been to a Comic-Con and you go through the comic section and there's just fuck tons of people making such original stuff that I never hear of because I don't live in that world. It's an amazing amount of people, and there's so much talent there. It's like, where do you start? Like it's almost an overload.
I'm trying to find a photo right now of me at a comic convention just to show that was my world for a good while. I used to be in Artist Alley selling comics and everything for about 5
even
years.
Charlie agrees with you. Charlie likes Lone Wolf as well.
Yeah. Digital comics via Marvel Insider. Wow. Original book, which one? Take your pick. There are different versions. Yeah. It becomes very, for someone who doesn't know shit, you Google or you put in Amazon Batman comics, you get lost fast. So you're like, I don't know what the fuck to do here. I need to get out. So I haven't bought any comic books, even though I intend to, Casey, because I just don't know where to start, where to send it. Lone Wolf is awesome. Yeah. Manny knows a couple guys with their own comic lines. That's fucking cool as hell.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure they probably don't make any money because, again, Marvel, DC, and
there's money to be made. There's money to be made.
Okay, I'm just saying Marvel and DC suck up all the fucking.
They suck up all the air. But I'm gonna tell you, the people that are into comics, they're willing to roll the dice and spend money on shit that's new and different because that's something they enjoy and love. You'll find some cool shit. There's money to be had.
Is that real, Archie versus Predator?
Sadly, Zach's out here. Zach's out for blood tonight, man. Seriously, like Archie versus Predator. Really?
Image Comics.
Hey, so Charlie's Kansas City. You know who else we had as a comic from Kansas City? Brian Gordon. Yes. I wonder if Brian goes there.
I wouldn't be surprised if he does. That would make sense.
That would make a lot of sense for him. Yeah.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you, man, I don't know, Casey, if you saw that episode of Brian. Brian was off the hook that whole episode. He was great. Like he just went on like a 20-minute diatribe about, doing his duck comic strip and how he's like, like eating Thai food. Oh, I really like that. Oh, but now you're only going to eat Thai food.
I remember that.
And it was just like, one of the best little riffs of like, he loves what he does, but at the same time, he's like, I just want to do different shit. And he's like, and he can't because he's like pigeonholed. Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast about rap and how rappers are like, you have to go and perform the same 10 songs 300 times over. So you better really make songs you like because you're going to be doing them a lot.
Were we talking about that last week about how bands change like the different type of music that they sing? Or was that last week, Doug? We were talking about that, or where was this? Where I was talking about how Beyonce came out, with Destiny's Child, Poppy, and her first stuff is Poppy. Now she does cinematic, opera type songs where she's
but she's a
doing all kinds of range, and it's a big theatrical event. What are you saying, Doug?
No, she's a force. So like she's a kind of there's certain people that like, and this is not a dig on Brian. It's like it's really easy if you do something that's really popular and it's really good, you'll have a core of fans that be like, don't do anything else. I love this shit.
Right.
And then if you try to branch out
or pivot,
you pivot and you try to, and people are like, what the fuck are you doing this? This isn't the shit I like. Like, remember we were at a Wendig on that one time, and he was like, he was really lucky that he just kind of started off and did a whole bunch of shit. so he's never like pigeonholed into doing one thing.
Right. He's not confined. Right.
But it's
Right.
it's funny when you're an artist. I would understand that as an artist. I don't like, even as somebody who's a writer, I don't want to write the same fucking thing over and over again.
Right. Right.
That like, I like writing, but if I had to write the same thing over again, just fucking, I don't want to do that.
I use Metallica as my, you know, another example. Came out heavy, big fucking riffs and all these different like crazy guitar, and then they end up doing shit with the fucking San Francisco Orchestra. What, is this the same band I grew up with? You know what I mean? Like, yes, it is the same fucking band, but they got, you know, creativity wise, they just got tired of playing those big songs that got me in the house. But then at the end of the day, they're still being creative and they're still doing things, and they may have boarded more people by expanding their reach, or, you know what I mean? You know, doing that. And I also heard that Jay-Z has a new album coming out, which is interesting because didn't he retire like 20 years ago? Anyway.
Supposedly.
What'd you say? What was
Supposedly.
that?
I was saying supposedly.
Yeah. Doug, you have a question for Casey.
Yeah. So if you said you had all these, what's some of you? So, and you have several core. What's the one that you're really looking forward to getting your kids into for the graphic novels?
Oh, that is a great question.
Because I'm sure there's like, oh well, there's 5. No, but what's the one you're like, man, I can't really, like, you're doing the hand rubbing. Can't wait to introduce them to this shit.
Okay, when they're old enough, there's one series. I don't have the entire thing because it did fall off after a bit, but it's 4 books. And it's about a superhero team called The Authority. And it is a direct riff off of the Justice League, where basically you have the Midnighter is, you know, he and his husband are like basically Batman and Superman. You have like all these characters that are just parallel to the Justice League characters.
Gay characters?
Yeah, they're a married gay couple, and there's other characters and everything in there, but they are just like very human, real people. Like, you know, there's like a bad guy comes and he's been terrorizing, you know, cities and everything, and it just gets to a point where it's like, all right, guess we got to kill you. Like, it's just like they use their powers to like just meet the ends of things, and the storylines are just so freaking good. Where just like, you know, where you see the entire suspending of disbelief that happens in Marvel and DC, where it's like you have to just accept certain parameters, like no one ever really dies, or the good guys always win. I'm like, no, they don't. And these 4 books are really like the core of what got me into exploring outside of Marvel and DC, whereas like, oh, there's other stories out there. And I think once they connect with the fact that stories can be gritty, or there's just different ways to do it, and there's actually a second series as well that I think they have to be even older to appreciate, called Transmetropolitan, which is about a gonzo journalist in a dystopian future who's basically out to expose the corruption of government. And it's like, it's a very heavy read. Like, it takes a lot to get through. It's 10 volumes, but it is literally, the ending of it is what I think is probably the best payoff of a comic series I have ever read, ever. And so it's things like that where I'm just like, if they get into it, I'll be like, I've done my job. I kept these books for a reason.
Amen.
That's the thing, is like, I don't know any of that stuff, and that's why I was like curious to hear, like, and that's great that it's not something that's like a mainstream sort of thing.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great.
So yeah, that's me in 2005 right there. That back when I did Comic Cons up here in Toronto, and I'm just like, you know, I used to do a table where you know, I have one row there which is just like hip hop portraits I did by pencil, and then I actually have a comic series called Fish and Chimps. That is it's basically a sci-fi space opera of like land monkeys versus sea monkeys, but it goes a lot deeper than that because it basically goes into the storylines of genocide or transdimensional like travel or identity and things like that. And it's mature. It started as a gag strip back in 2001, and I just kind of put regular gags out, like just these 4-panel comics out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then I stopped doing it because I decided, hey, I should go adult in real life and stuff and get a job and, you know, start a family and all that kind of stuff.
Why?
But then, because that's what adults do, apparently. That's what people told me. I didn't know they were lying. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, so in all the time away from it, it matured with me, and now it's like I've been working, like, you know, I have a total script and everything for it. I've character sketches. Like I think it's gonna be my magnum opus when I finally get around to putting it all together. I sketch on it all the time to just, you know, keep getting the ideas going. But I think it has a really strong story with it. I think it's one of those things where I don't want to have clear villains and heroes. I want everyone to have a rationale for doing what they do. And it has a beginning, a middle, and an end, which I think is hugely important, because I think the one thing that Marvel and DC often fail at is the fact that they don't have endings to their stories. They keep trying to reinvent their characters over and over again, and they do it well sometimes and often not. And so I feel like having these contained stories are what is necessary in order to have something have a satisfying feeling when you take them in.
Boom. Charles thinks this is what Jay-Z's been doing.
That isn't a bad way to live.
Daniel has a question for us here. Y'all killing it with the comments tonight. I can't keep up. What did everybody think of the Guardians of Justice on Netflix?
I'm trying, Daniel. I think I have it somewhere in the middle of episode 7, and I'm just like, I'll get back to this eventually. But it's something. I don't know. I don't have any words for that. It's intentionally a hot mess, as it's trying to like parody a lot of the superhero stuff out there. It's basically like pokes fun at itself, but it's just so bad that you're like, ugh, I don't know.
Have you seen
this? To watch it. What are you gonna say, Doug?
What about, have either of you seen The Boys on Amazon?
Yep, I have all the comics too. That's one of the series I kept.
So is that also sort of, I get the sense that that's somewhat of an attempt at a parody of superheroism too.
It is. Yeah. Because the entire idea that, you know, you can manufacture superheroes and then, you know, have them do the bidding of large corporations is another dark twist on superheroes, right? So
As dark as Brightburn. Did you see that?
No, I haven't.
Brightburn is basically if you Superman crashed to Earth when he was a little baby, but he was evil. And it's a movie.
Oh. I'll check it out.
Yeah, and it's actually my 15-year-old's one of his favorite movies.
I've heard of this. Yeah, I have heard of this. Okay, I haven't seen it, but I heard of it.
It's not a great movie. It's a good movie, and it's interesting that take. But yeah, you're right. That's a good way to phrase it, Manny. It had such a great idea at the core. Ooh, like Superman but evil. Okay, cool. And it just kind of didn't really dig into it as well as it should have. There's some really good scenes in it. And I wish it would have done more with it.
Oh, really? Is that good, Charles? Like, I don't know. I'm always so iffy on all these like special changes that they do to their characters to, like, you know, make them modernize them or to bring attention to them.
What would be great?
They're just like,
no, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I'm saying it just often falls flat on its face. But go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, but what would be funny is if it was like, this is the stupid fiction writer brain coming out for a second. If you had superheroes and they came into real life, but they still look like comic book characters.
Oh gosh.
Sorry, that would be so dumb, but so funny.
So this is what I showed the boys say when I said, this is why women live longer than men. Guys over here.
No.
Oh my goodness. Dude.
He's young. Oh my god. I'm like, do you need help? Sir.
Damn, you go, dude. Do your thing.
Y'all crazy.
What?
Y'all crazy.
Oh my god. He's fully free soloing it.
He's got no.
Oh, he's a free climber. Those people are fucking insane.
He doesn't even have suction cups or.
Yes, Zach.
Yep.
Yes, Zach.
What?
Yes, Zach.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Can you see him?
What do you do? What do you do with these people, Doug?
Fucking white people. You would never see a brother doing that.
No, that's what I was thinking in my head. I was not going to say it. I was not going to say it, but
No brother be like, yeah, no, I'm going to go over here and fuck that nonsense. I'm not doing any of that.
Correct.
That's Rick Dodora doing that, but yeah, it's
correct.
Yeah, that's supreme stupidity. It's like, wow.
Yeah. I don't really know what to say about that.
I don't know if there is much to say about that. Just like, hey, you know, and then what's funny is somebody does that and then they fall to their fucking death and then they're like, yeah, but he did what he loved. Oh, he loved dying. Great. Awesome. Good for you, dude.
That's been a huge social media problem as of late. People doing all this stuff and be like, yeah, he was an influencer with like 50,000 followers and they fell to their death. Well, that was thank you, Zach. That was the other piece of it. That was the other piece of it because I was like, no one's gonna be out here being like, yo, there's not gonna hear a black person be like free soloing. Like, you might have that N-word crazy moment where like that crazy. No free soloing. Right. That's not coming out of anyone's mouth.
Right. Be right back. I'm gonna go.
Oh man.
He's Spider Dan. Come on, dudes.
Does whatever a Spider Dan can.
No, you can't sing that shit. Now we're gonna get tagged again.
See, I've avoided this all episode for your sake, Greg. It's like an instinct, but I know I've learned from the past. So like, Greg, don't play that. Mm-mm.
And this is why we get tagged, Doug. It's because of our comment section, like Zach and Charlie and Daniel. I gotta blame them. Right, I can't. Zach can't even climb a CD tower.
What about a DVD tower, Zach? Would you do that?
Right. Doug, we're gonna wrap up here soon. Casey, it was awesome having you back. Yeah. I hope this isn't a one and done. But if it is, we'll take it. You are
this is too damn fun.
You're more than fun. Next week we have Zach. So I'm
worried already.
I'm not sure what the hell's gonna happen.
Man, that's gonna be hey, we remember when we talked about, all right, so here's gonna be who is the most buck wild guest that we don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. Is it gonna be Manny or Zach? And even money on that because I don't know.
I mean, we've had all kinds though. Look, do not forget that we had somebody be a guest wearing no clothes the whole time.
Yep, we had somebody do that. Yep. They were in a pool.
They were skinny dipping
in a pool
for the whole show.
But why?
We had Manny pulled a bunch of stunts. Shows up on a throne of cereal, basically.
In a robe.
Ate a whole bunch of cereal.
Cereal. Had beer with the cereal.
Beer with cereal. And
Ashley still don't fuck with gravy. So there you go.
Right. Ashley don't fuck with gravy. We had it out with her about that. Right. We I know.
I don't know about. This would be great. Hey,
happening right now.
This is the thing. You haven't been here so long. No, Manny. Why'd you have to go and fuck it all up?
Right. And
wait.
You're throwing a cereal is throwing a live, my friend. Right. Stop it.
I was about to contact Manny to book him too this week, and
I don't know, man. We might have to reconsider that.
Now that shit's getting pushed back. Fuck that.
Hey, what is? Hey, if you put cereal and milk and then you eat all the cereal, isn't the milk at that point just cereal gravy?
You did
right. Well, now we've challenged Manny. Right.
I don't know. I'm telling you, Casey, we have had just a murderer's row of folks just killing it with comments for the past fucking 6 months. I think it's been crazy.
Right, and we had Charlie on recently and didn't talk a cent about comics. And apparently Charlie can talk comics as much. Right.
Yeah, Charlie was talking beer with us, and we had a great time with him too. But I didn't know that he was into comics.
Yeah, he's a brewer, and he's been a brewer for a long time now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and we didn't when we met. He wasn't a brewer at all. It wasn't. I don't think beer was on either of our radars when Charlie and I met. So it was just funny to have this conversation. But yeah. So Greg's top sheet.
That would be Greg's. Mine is no top sheet.
I don't even understand you.
I think my rap name should be "Fuck Avocados."
Right. So I will binge all kinds of shows, eating avocado toast, snuggling in my top sheet, and Doug just will never do that ever. So
those are three things I won't do. You're correct.
You're wrong, but it's fine. I am correcting. You're wrong. You got it right. I shouldn't even. Right. You could be great.
I like, and Rick's comment like, "Hey, anything can be gravy if you try hard enough."
Right.
Oh, man.
Or should he shoot the cereal like meth? Y'all crazy. We could go all night with these comments. Y'all, I don't even know what to say. I think, Doug, we should get out of here soon because we have to prepare for next week. Casey, if you can, next week, bro.
Man.
Casey, you're welcome here all the time, as you know.
Yeah,
I just say the word,
bro.
I love being back.
Even if it's hours before, you tell us. You know you're in. You know how to talk to us. You did today. So we are. What in the hell?
That's so many. I'm so impressed. Wow.
So how many storage units do you have?
Doug, you're a bookhead, man. How do you?
Hey, I probably have in my house close to maybe 2,000 books.
15,000 is a lot. That's a lot. I mean, they're thinner. They're thinner. So, I mean, if you're talking about like comics versus like trade paperbacks, graphic novels, there's room, but still 15,000. Damn. That's impressive.
And I have a fucking hard time. American budget.
North, baby. North. It's North, okay? Holy crap.
If you would ask other Canadians, they think Toronto thinks they're the epicenter of the universe. So yes,
that's because it is.
No, too many kids in this house for comics.
Doug, Doug, when you come up, I'm gonna take some time off when you come up, Doug, because I'll show you why Toronto's awesome. I will show you, my friend.
Yeah, and September I'm going up.
Just give me some dates, and I'll definitely make sure to come up with a good itinerary for a day so I can show you around and all the cool stuff.
Yeah, that is in September. Jill and I are going up for our anniversary. So we've never been to Toronto. I've never been in Canada. Jill has. So.
What is who let Zach in this room? I can't.
Toronto.
Again, I'm not sure what the hell we're gonna do next week, Doug. I really don't.
I have zero clue where it's gonna go. Like literally none. Other than I know I can talk to him about video games, and after that, who the fuck knows where it's gonna go? It's gonna be great. Oh man.
Oh my
god. But does she eat a Snickers bar with a fork? That's my question.
Yeah, there's your red flag on the video.
Yeah, probably because of me. Sorry, folks.
Right. We can't book anyone because of you, Doug. It's your fault.
I'll try to be behaved from here on out.
I think we should probably do this. Oh, we also have past guest news.
Okay.
I gotta look that shit up.
Yeah. All right, Casey, tell us what you had and what you thought, my man.
Yeah, give me
I
a
only
second.
drank one beer. I was too busy laughing to open the other beer. Bang bang, dry hop sour. I keep buying it for a reason. It's good. It's easy. It goes with triple creme brie. Where can you go wrong? It's delicious.
Triple creme brie. I don't think
Right.
that phrase has ever. I don't think that phrase has ever been uttered on this show. Very lovely.
I'm done. That's it. That's all I drank. It was that kind of night. You guys are hilarious. I love it.
Oh, Greg's still looking up past guest stuff.
Yeah, Doug, what's going on?
Shipped to me, sir. So I went Sweet Baby Swirl, which was a chocolate peanut butter white stout, which I got the white stout, I got the peanut butter, no chocolate. Said I had coffee in it, didn't taste that either. It was decent, not great. And then I had this PB Dimension Porter, 9%. I have that much left of it out of a crowler, so clearly it was pretty good. Porters are not what they're known for. They're known for their stouts, but this was pretty good. Wasn't quite as roasty as a porter. I think the peanut butter kind of overpowers that, but still really good.
I didn't even tell y'all about Closterade. I just drank it.
Closterade. A
Yeah.
Doppelbock. Oh,
Yeah.
man. I am jealous of that shit.
And I have these two from. I'm out of beer. I got to go on a beer run, Doug, this week.
Yes, you do. And
Had
goddamn,
those two.
that Doppelbock looks fucking great.
And it was. It's almost done. A little for the post show here. But we do have. So, Doug, I don't know if you've seen our friend Jackie Summers has been racking up the awards.
Yes.
This week he collected Best in Class at the Craft Spirits Distiller competition. He also wrapped up a writing one.
Yeah, he got nominated for a James Beard Award for that.
James Beard Award. There's another one here. Let me.
He had several. You know, like Sorrel just got a fuck ton of awards. Like,
we have this here, double gold. Of the John Barleycorn Awards. And that one just came through today, Doug. That was 4 p.m. He posted that.
Yeah, and I mean, he's had it posted in fucking Taste Magazine and all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah, so that's another one of Doug's fabulous guests. He's a fabulous human being, wonderful person, has a great liquor thing, and we are proud to be his friend. Very proud. That's what we got. Let's see, final comments here before we leave, y'all. Love you, Toronto. Just love Winnipeg and Montreal more. Casey saying no to that.
Well, I mean, Montreal's awesome. Winnipeg and I know, Rick. I know, Rick. Rick, I understand, Rick. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think Rick is from Winnipeg, or yeah.
Right. The last Zach phone sex update we'll have until at least next week.
Yeah. At least we won't have his comments. We'll just have his comments live this time.
Right. Are we actually trying to get Roo on this stream, or are we trying against it? I don't know. I'm conflicted, Doug. Anyway, because we got flagged before all of this.
Yeah.
So let's see here. I think this is Rick. Yep. Yeah, Rick, you gotta. Yeah, it's gonna be funny. Is Jackie our winningest guest?
Probably.
Maybe, but we have Mallory O'Mara, who Doug, what is her podcast again? Working Glasses? No, what is it?
Reading Glasses.
Reading Glasses. I'm sorry, Casey. It's something that you should check out because she's a big bookie.
Okay.
And you too, Charlie. With your 600,000 books that you have, check out Mallory O'Mara's podcast. It's great. She even gets into why silly people like Doug and her smell books. I don't even.
Yep.
What?
Let me ask you a question. If it's something
do you
you
want
really
to
enjoy,
explain that? Do you want to explain that shit before we get out of here?
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. So let's say it's something you really like. Let's say you like weed. Do you not give it a good whiff before you fucking partake of it?
Yes.
Okay, then that's what I do with books. I don't smoke weed, so books are my weed.
I wouldn't expect you to smoke books either, though.
No, I have not tried that, and I don't think I will either. So
red flags galore this week, right? Well, we started off by Doug beating his kids, or was it me beating my kids? Somebody was beating.
Someone was beating their kids,
right? Right. We started off with people beating kids, and now we're here. So, all right, fellas, we're going to wrap this up because, well, it's that time to wrap it up.
Yep.
Y'all have any final words for our folks?
It's good to be back.
Yeah, and it's great to have you back, man. And thank you for filling in. I mean, it was off the cuff, and man, you just jumped right in. It's like we never parted ways in any way.
There you go.
Like you just jumped right back into the fray.
Yes, that's when you know it works. When you can just, you know how it is. It's like calling your friend that you haven't talked to for months.
You just pick right up where you left off.
Pick right up where you left off, like nothing happened, because nothing really did happen, or a lot happened, but. Well, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all have a great weekend, and the next time we see you, I don't know what's going to happen here.
Yep. We don't know, and that's going to be fun.
You have been warned.
We ain't ready for Zach. We are not ready.
I don't know if anybody is. You've been warned. Cheers, fellas. Wait, there's more, because there is more. Next Thursday on Twitter Spaces at 9 p.m., me and my friend Doug Ziegler will be having a conversation about bourbon, booze, and tequila with our friend Afro Beer Chick. I forgot to announce that, but y'all need to check on us on Twitter Spaces. We're going to be talking stuff about we don't talk about here in preparation for Crazy Zach. Bye, y'all.